Hey there, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time stopping by, welcome for the first time. I'm on my way to the spot to go skate, and I thought I would try to record for the heck of it. I'm recording this on March 23rd, and I got back into skateboarding in April of 2025, so we're coming up on a year here pretty soon. When I started, I was 50. In January of this year, I turned 51. So since I returned to skating, I do it about 3 to 4 times a week, depending on the week, depending on what I have going on and my energy levels and things like that. But I usually try to get out there about 3 to 4 times a week. And the consistency is key. That's really what's helped me progress and start to feel a lot more comfortable on the board and get more tricks back. I've gotten a lot of the basics back. I've even landed a couple of tray flips, but they were not that great and it was a struggle. So I'm still getting back into it. As I mentioned in the first video, and as I probably will focus on more as as this series progresses, I do need to work on my fitness and my diet. I also need to work on my attitude. I can be a little pissy bitch sometimes. I can definitely have kind of a negative attitude. I can be a little cynical and pessimistic at times. And so I need to work on that because I don't think, I'm not going to reach my full potential in anything if I just have a shitty attitude. But, returning to my health, the mental health is part of that, obviously, which is why I brought it back around to that. But I can tell, especially at this age, that what I think will help me most at this time, aside from continuing to skate regularly, is I need to work on my fitness so that I'm stronger, which will help me with my pop. As far as part of fitness, I need to lose more weight. I did lose a lot of weight, after I quit drinking and when I got back into skating. And just to kind of revisit that for a second, I did quit drinking in September of 2024. It was actually a Friday the 13th. It stemmed from a health scare. I thought I might have an ulcer, and I quit drinking that night. I had been thinking about quitting for quite some time, but obviously you kind of put things like that off and push it out and never get around to it most of the time. But this health scare helped me out because I know different people have different experiences with quitting drinking, and some people require different things to maintain that. For me, I think because it stemmed from a health scare, I have not really had too much trouble not drinking. I don't really have cravings. Honestly, it really was quite a while before I ever had cravings. Every now and again, now that it's been almost a year and a half, every now and again I do social kind of activities often. That is when I do kind of get cravings. I wish that I could have a beer or a margarita or whatever, it depends on where we're eating. So I do have those cravings occasionally, but it's not strong. I don't give into it. That was a bit of a tangent, but I lost a lot of weight when I quit drinking, and then skateboarding and eating a little better helped me lose some more weight, but I still weigh too much. At one point I was down to 202. I think I'm around 215 now. So I need to drop down to 200 or lower again. I think if I can get down to like 190, that would be great. I think it will help with my pop because I do think I'm a little bit top heavy, which throws off my balance. And of course, being too heavy helps, affects the pop. So I don't want to get too deep into it, but I moved to Columbia from Rock Hill. Really just skated empty parking lots. Rock Hill is not a skateboard mecca by any means. It is near Charlotte, but I was just trying to get back into skating, so I wasn't trying to go skate in the big city. And then I moved to Columbia, South Carolina in August of 2025. It was overall quite a good thing for me because, I went to USC in the 90s, so I'm already familiar with Columbia. I do have a few friends here, including one homie that I skate with occasionally named Chris. It just has more spots, especially nearby. I know the city better. But, moving to Colombia also meant, you know, moving out of the house I'd been living in for like 8+ years. I'm not gonna lie, you know, moving was not easy. I mean, moving itself, I don't mean that. I mean, emotionally, it was pretty difficult. Definitely one of the harder times of my life, and I was depressed, so I hadn't been eating well, hadn't been taking care of myself, and it really, you know, wasn't until I'd say like December or maybe January of this year that I really started to feel like I had turned the corner and started to look at life a little differently and feel a little better about things. All right, I just had my session, and I got sidetracked earlier when I got to my spot to skate, because there was somebody here that I wasn't expecting, but they left. Not another skater, just some dude hanging out. I don't totally remember what I was saying. I think I was talking about, you know, getting back into skating and how that had all happened, starting in Rock Hill and then moving to Columbia and all that. So right here in the back, actually you can see it as it's over there, that white building behind me. That's where I was just skating. That is called the Rutledge Building. It's on Senate Street in Columbia, South Carolina. I usually skate there most of the time just because there's basically never really anyone there. So yeah, I usually skate there, and then actually, if I were to, not that you can see it, but if I were to turn left here, this is the University of South Carolina campus. We're driving through. This is where I went to college too. But back down that way on campus, there's a parking garage. It's like an underground garage. I also skate there pretty regularly because it's really smooth and it's usually private. Occasionally there's some other skaters there, like some of these younger kids from the college, and I see other people sometimes too, but it's usually a pretty good place to skate, and it's fun too because it's dope because I used to skate there when I was like in college. So it's cool to go back to these places that I used to skate. But anyhow, yeah, so, you know, getting back into skateboarding at the age of 50, I wasn't sure really what to expect. You know, especially after having quit for so long, and I was in pretty bad shape because I hadn't been doing anything physical, just drinking and working and very little, you know, exercise. But once I quit drinking, once I got back into the skating and I started doing it regularly, you know, I started to get into better shape, and you know, life just started improving. Almost ran into somebody. You know, skating at this age, it's not a walk in the park. I mean, people that were already in better shape than me would probably be doing better. I mean, if they had a background in skating. If they just started now, I don't know. I have no idea. I'd like to think that I'm doing better than if somebody had just started skating. But, you know, young people can learn fast, and I mean, I know how it was when I was young. It hurts more to fall now. I'm not in, you know, the shape that I was in when I skated when I was younger. Like I said, I haven't really been taking great care of myself. I mean, at least I'm not drinking, but I have been eating pretty poorly. So another thing, you know, that I would like to focus on the channel here is, you know, as part of the skateboarding journey and getting better and stuff, you know, it's going to be this, as I mentioned earlier, fitness and eating better, you know, because just now, even when I went out there, I mean, I ate okay today, but I just felt crappy. I just didn't have any energy, and I'm not really sure, like, some days I have really good energy and other days I just don't feel like, you know, up to it. I'm glad I went out. I still have to you still have to force yourself to go skate even on days when you don't really feel like it. Otherwise you will never make any progress. And usually once I get out there, I'm fine. I have an okay time. Anyhow, you know, the channel is going to be about getting my shit together after, you know, being a drunk loser for way too many years and being really unhappy and in a rut. You know, skateboarding helped tremendously. I mean, quitting drinking in and of itself was a good thing, but getting back into skateboarding, the exercise and the endorphins you get from it, I mean, it's, you know, I mean, I'm getting in better shape physically, mentally, getting tricks back. It makes you feel better about yourself. Quitting drinking, you know, made me not feel like a total loser. Skating has just perpetuated that, and I just feel better and better. To me, the channel is about finding my balance both on and off the board, rebuilding my life, reinvigorating myself, trying to get inspired again, trying to be creative again. I mean, because that's one of the overarching themes too, is creativity. I personally think skateboarding is one of the most creative sports you can do, which is probably why I've been interested in it throughout my life, unlike a lot of other sports. As I mentioned in the first video too, longer term, I would like to get into other things on the channel. I would like to cover other interests that also pertain to creativity, but yeah, I would like to cover at some point DIY music production, being experimental in general, in whatever kind of DIY pursuit you have. I might cover photography and video games, maybe do some cultural commentary. I might even engage in politics discussions, but I'm not really sure if I feel like going down that rabbit hole or not. I know it's a very polarizing time right now. None of this will be from the perspective of expertise. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not a videographer. I don't really have. I've screwed around with technology for years. I've messed with visual stuff over time. I mean, I have edited video quite a bit at this point. And in fact, I think I said in my first video that editing the skate videos over the last year, just to post on Facebook or whatever, that's kind of why I started thinking about doing a channel, because I really kind of enjoy the editing, and I'm hoping, you know, that I'll get better at it. So, you know, don't be a hater, don't be a jerk. Cut me some slack here as I learn how to do this whole thing and get better at editing and get better at my presentation. But yeah, I guess that's about it for now. Thanks again for stopping by my channel. Don't be a stranger. If anything resonates with you here, please feel free to stop by, check in and see how things are going. Hopefully my content will get more and more interesting and engaging. You know, do all the things they normally say, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you want, you don't have to. I don't care. I mean, it's not that I don't care, it's just do what you want to do, man.
Do what you want to do, man. Have a good one. Catch you later.